Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Commercial Drivers Monday Night CDLP Coaching Zoom. We are definitely waiting for everybody to pile in here. And I will be turning this call over to our elite trainers so they can commence and get this puppy rolling. Mr. Dunbar, I turn the call over to you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff. Well, we appreciate you guys all for joining us this evening for another one of our calls here, another Zoom, I should say, Zoom number 21. But remember, we've got almost 3 years of calls going on the CDLP page, so you can always go on that page to announcements and click on recordings and listen to the old audio recordings. And then if you would like to listen to the Zoom YouTube trainings, you got two places you can go. You can either go right to the CDLP page on Facebook and just look at whichever number you want to see, anywhere from number 2 to 21. The first one doesn't have a number on it. Or you can go directly to the YouTube page. And when you go to the YouTube page, click on home. And when you scroll down, you'll see a playlist of videos that are nothing but CDLP weekly Zooms. So you can catch up there as well. We do this every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I know quite a few of you all will probably be new tonight because you took the training this past weekend. I know it was over 750 people on that training this past weekend. So congratulations to all the brand new people. And for the individuals who are taking it, who just took it, who taking it for a second, third, fourth time, who wanted to kind of just get, just relearn a little bit on CDLP. So I heard it was a really good training. I wasn't on it myself, but I heard the guys did a really good job on that training. We're gonna get started here with our introductions, and then we're gonna be going into a couple of different topics. Something very important for you guys, especially the ones who are still confused a little bit about compensation. We're going to be going into a little bit more detail on compensation with the new changes in 2021. So we want you guys to kind of just have some paper and pen and take some notes, because there's going to be some interesting breakdown on the compensation, talking about level, talking about backload, and talking about how important it is to keep your persistency up for several different reasons. Number one, because it's Performance Club qualifying points now when you sell a plan. And secondly, because you'll find out from Mr. Lamar Reynolds that the longer you hold on to that plan, the more money you're going to make by marketing that plan. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And all the trainers will be chiming in and having a conversation about that as well. So just be prepared for that. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the ladies. Do an introduction first. So Sherranda, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself and then turn it over to the men, and then we'll get moving on the training.
Awesome. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yep.
All righty. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to all the new people, the new associates that just took the class. Welcome to the CDLP call, the Zoom. As Mr. Dunbar said, my name is Sherranda Ivey. I'm out of Byron, Georgia, which is about an hour south of Atlanta. So I'm in Middle Georgia. I've been a part of LegalShield going on my 8th year. Last year was my first year as a trainer. Got recognized last year for the 2019 Ladies of Justice Award for the #1 field trainer. Wrote over 1,000, earned the production award, writing over 1,000 personal memberships. Got that recognition last year as well. I don't forgot what my number were this year, but part of the business solutions, Sapphire Associates, with LegalShield, and just work mostly in the CDLP space now, in business solutions and small biz. Also was has special forces in the small business arena. We have some new small business plans that are phenomenal, I think. So if you have a cross-sell plan, you definitely want to learn how to cross-sell those small business plans, especially in this arena. Those guys really need, all the benefits we have, especially from small biz on down to our CDLP and family plans. So just happy to be here. I host the accountability call on Thursday nights. So if you, it's more like a mastermind call for those individuals that are moving into space. You're welcome to register. I might do a new update on that, but you can register, become a part of that. It's accountability, so it's not recorded. We look for you to show up every week if you like to be a part of that. Some great activity is coming out of that group. And so we'll be highlighting and talk about those things on Thursday night as well. So with that, appreciate being on here. And I pass the call over to Randy.
Oh, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be on the call. I'm honored to be a part of this call. I've learned a whole lot here, and I try to bring everything that I can find and learn to y'all to help y'all in this space. I've been with LegalShield about 12 years, and I have sold over 1,000 personal apps and part of the Emerald Elite last year, and this also was able to make the 50K ring through this space in CDL. And this is a space that if you learn our product and learn how to educate your drivers and your safety directors and people in charge, you don't have to sell this product. They will actually buy it from you. And so you just have to learn the space. You have to learn the industry so that they know you know what you're talking about. If you do that, I think even AJ will say this sort of sells itself. and you don't have to be much of a salesperson to try to convince somebody to buy it. They know they need something, and if you're able to educate them on it, they will buy it from you for sure. With that, I'll turn it over to Lamar.
All right, Mr. Randy. Amen to what you just said. That's perfect. And I'm Lamar Reynolds out of Houston, Texas. And I've been with LegalShield about 14 and a half years. I've been a trainer for about 10 and a half years. And I've been selling the CDLP membership for about 11 years now. And I've been able, through this space, as everybody's talking about, that's transportation that we're talking about. I've been able to earn the 50,000K ring and the 100,000K ring by selling CDLP product. And as we're running in that lane of transportation, we're selling all of the different families of products, from the legal plan, ID Shield, gun program, small business plan, and certainly our lead off is with the CDLP. I did break the 5,000 membership goal that I had at the beginning of last year. So I do have that many personal memberships that I've sold. I'm part of the Special Forces and the Emerald Elite Solutions, Emerald Elite. So been able to accomplish this by selling the CDLP. And so tonight, if you don't have a pen and piece of paper, you grab one, because I spent the whole week last week doing research and learning exactly what we're dealing with. So as we go into tonight, you want to make some notes. And I'll turn it over to Mr. Robert so he can do his introduction. Then we'll get back to sharing information. Mr. Robert?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff. Real quickly, Robert Dunbar, I've been with the company for 11 years. February, I think February will be 12 years. I'll lose track sometime. But lo and behold, I've been a trainer for 6 years. I've been a CDLP trainer for going on 3 years. I really love the CDLP space simply because it's kind of untouched. We don't have a lot of competition outside of LegalShield, and there's not a lot of LegalShield people in the space either. So you don't run into that in the field. So that's important. Plus, I really like working with the truck drivers and offering a specialized plan, because when it's a specialized plan, it's normally an easier yes. I do work all sides of the business. I'm a $100,000 ring earner. I've got 250K ring earners on my team. So I do networking and group and CDLP and broker insurance. I do the whole deal. So really it's about just earning the income wherever LegalShield is offering, from bonuses and incentives to Performance Club to networking and B2B. Well, we are here to help. I hope you guys really took some good notes on that certification training this past weekend. We always say that certification training is like a baby shower. All right. So you're gonna get some things there to sustain you immediately so that you can learn it, get excited, get motivated about being in the space. But on a week-to-week basis, you want to definitely be plugged in to this Monday night Zoom, because we're going to kind of give you some current things that may be happening, how to do decision maker appointments, how to walk in places, different scripts to use, how to bundle the plan, how to sell small business plans to owner operators, all the different dynamics that it takes to be successful in the CDLP space. You're going to get on a week-to-week basis here. So it's a way to plug in and also plug into the Facebook page. That way you can ask questions and know what's happening, because people like Randy Hooker, people like Alan Roman will post different articles that will be useful to you in the field. They will put things in the area, the files area. Sherranda will post several different trainings that are coming up, whether they're free or paid trainings. So it's just a lot of things happening on that page that'll keep you up to pace on what's happening. And again, on my YouTube page, I have all of our CDLP Zooms there as well, so you can go get plugged in there. So this new Zoom link that we have that you guys use to get in here, if you look at the header on the Facebook page, all of that information is in there. And this information is always on the page. It's always in the header. It's always on LinkedIn. It's always on Instagram. If you go to Training by Dunbar on Instagram, which is where I'm at on Instagram, you'll always see the CDLP post there as well. So you can find the post all different places. I normally send an email as well with the information. So it's normally very accessible, but if you just lock in that code that you used today to get on the Zoom, that code will not change until 2022. So as long as you have that link, you can go to that same link next week and you'll get into the Zoom. And if you need to call in at any point, there's a dial-in number and a PIN code there. You can always use that as well all the way into 2022. You can use the same information. So just make sure you get plugged in so that you know what to do, where to go. And before the call ends, Sherranda will tell you about her accountability card that she does for CDL as well, which is something else that you can plug into to get moving. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn over to Mr. Lamar Reynolds, and then we'll all be chiming in as well on some of the topics that he'll be talking about.
Okay. Thank you, Robert. And we're going to start off with the first compensation sheet, the $29.95, the new comp sheet. So hopefully you've printed that off and you have that. If not, just take some good notes. So I chose with the notes the executive director position. And if you look at that sheet, it's a 6-month advance of $28.01. Now that's for the commissions for the first 6 months. So you would double that for the whole year. So that total is $56.02. Okay. And so that's the commissions you're going to make the first year, $56.02. And the average per month is $4.67. That's the commissions you will make on that membership each month for 12 months, and that equals $56.02. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit more about something else in just a second on that, but let's just take it on into the second year, the third year, the fourth year, the fifth year, and everything going forward. As long as you keep that membership, that commission of $4.67 is going to be paid out as a residual, your renewal income. So it's what we call a flat line. So we got this confirmed through LegalShield. They put that in writing for us. So we know what the first year's commission is $56.02. We know what the renewal is for the second year, that's $56.02. We know what the renewal is for the third year. That's 5602, and on and on and on. All right. So you go back and you look at the old compensation sheet. You'll see as executive director, it paid a first year commission of $127.25. Okay. And so this year, as we sell a membership for the first year, we're going to make 5602 versus 127.25. So that's right at almost a 60% reduction in commission the first year. Okay. So what LegalShield was telling us, hold it now, you got to look at it long term. So you project that out, and it takes right at 4.5 years for the new compensation to be more lucrative than the old compensation. It's 4 years, 7 months. The new program starts to break into you're making more money. So, ladies and gentlemen, the key to this is keeping the membership account retention. So we did have on the old compensation in 2020, it was front end loaded with commissions. And what they've done, they back end loaded it with renewal income. So if you're able to, and I still have memberships that I sold 12 years ago. 10 and 12 years ago, I still have memberships still on the books. Now, granted, there are, as you look at transportation, we have a lot of drivers leaving company A and going to company B. And they're switching jobs a lot. And in the process, they may be canceling their membership while they're looking for the new job. And Mr. Randy has did a little research in this area. And we're talking to the home office to see if we can get some consideration in these times to maybe put that membership on hold. So we're seeing if we can do that, if that can be possible. And so that might help us a little bit in transitioning drivers as they are leaving one job and going to another. So that is the biggest factor of count churn in CDLP. So that right there is the $29.95. The group rate is $56.02. Commissions the first year, second year, third year, right on through. And it takes about, there you go. Mr. Randy's got that. Okay, there's the compensation sheet right there. If everybody can see that, it's 2801. And that, as you can see over to the right-hand side, it says 6-month advance. So you get that 6-month advance. And then the second 6 months, if you do get the advance, you're paid as earned 7, 8, 9, 10, right on through 12. Okay, so you get $4.67 in the next month, and the 7th month, 8th month, 9th, 10th, 11th, and the 12th. So your total compensation at the end of the 12 months is going to be $56.02. And that same commission is the renewal in the second, third, fourth, and fifth year. So it's flat lined out. Okay. So you'll get that as a flat line commission there. Okay. So if you'll look at the $32.95 plan, let's take a look at that. The $32.95 is a membership that you're going to sell a member as a street membership. Okay. And I sell probably 5 or 6 of these a month, a street membership. And then if I open that group, I can move them into our discount pricing. So if you pull the compensation sheet on that, The $32.95 has a 9-month advance. And on the commission sheet, it's got $46.22. That is the advance for 9 months. And there, Mr. Randy just put that up there, $46.22. If you look over to the right-hand side, it says 9-month advance. So you divide that 9 into 46.22, that comes up to be $5.14 times 12. That's $61.63. So you're making a little bit more money than you do on the $29.95 because it costs a little bit more. Okay, so your whole year commission is $61.63. Year 2, year 3, year 4 is going to be $61.63. So it's flatline renewals and flatline commissions. So that is our 2 programs, the $32.95, the street program, and $29.95, the basic CDLP group. So those are the 2. So we had that verified that that's the way they're going to do the compensation of these 2 programs. Now,
Hey, Lamar,
yes,
can I jump in here real quick with you?
absolutely.
All right, so I want to just create some clarity for some of the people on the line, because I know some new people or some people who've been in for a while. Some of you guys may have been involved in a broker program before. Some of you may have not been. Well, we got something called level. And what level means that you get paid the same thing every year out. So if we broke that down, so when we sell a membership, after the 15th month, they pay us residual income. And for those that's been around for any amount of time, you know that the residual income that they pay us annually is less than what you make on year 1 of the sale. So let's just say, for instance, you make, I don't know, hypothetically speaking, $100. You just use any number. You make $100 when you sold a legal plan on year 1. They pay you $100 up front for that membership. If that membership stays on the books for more than 15 months, on year 2, hypothetically speaking, they might pay you $42 next year. And then, you know, whatever they pay the year after that, whatever they pay the year after that, it's residual income. So whatever they're paying you annually to have that, to hold on, for that person to hold on to that membership, they're paying you month to month on it, but it equals a certain amount at the end of the year. And I hope that makes sense to everybody. What Lamar is talking about when he says level, the reason why it takes about 5 years and you kind of earn more with the new plan is because now they're paying you level. So while they're paying you at the executive director level $56 annually to make that sale, on year 2, they're not going to pay you less than $56 like they would normally pay you less than they paid you the first year before the plan changes. Now they're going to pay you $56.02 every year. So it's level. So you're gonna get paid $56.02 for every year that person holds on to the membership. So eventually you actually earn more. I think after 5 years, from what Lamar was just saying, after they've had the membership 5 years, you've actually earned more with them holding on to the membership for 5 years than if they hadn't changed the way the compensation plays out. So, you know, in the best interest for your business, which you should be looking at residual anyway, because a lot of us get into the business for residual income and long term. If you're getting them to hold on to that membership, which is why Lamar and the rest of the team is sending those letters to get them to change how that's set up, is because they want long term, right? They want us long term to make way more money. So in the best interest, we want to make sure our members hold that membership so that you can get paid $56 every year for that sale. And when you start talking about a lot of memberships on the books, that's a lot of money, which is really what most of us are in it for, not the upfront commissions, but the lifelong business on the books. You having the ability to be able to have a membership and a legacy because people are continuing to pay for that membership as you build a book of business. So I hope that helps a little bit. I may have cleared it up for some of y'all, may have confused some of y'all with that, but I wanted to just explain it so people understood what level versus, and I can't think of the other term right now because I'm just drawing a blank, but then you got level and then you have the other which kind of fluctuates, meaning that it's based on your retention. So every year your membership, which you get paid in residual income, changes based on your retention that you have on all your memberships on the books. When it's level, it doesn't. It just pays you out that every year, which is now what CDLP will do. So if you need more clarity than that, you may have to call your upline or corporate, or you may be able to reach out to me after the call. But I just want to throw that out there so people can have a little bit more clarity on what's going on. So I hope I didn't confuse anybody. Lamar?
Okay. So those of us that's in the CDLP been selling a while, we had a couple more questions about the compensation. And so we put this in writing to people upstairs, and I'm just going to read you the question, and then I'm going to answer the question for you. And the question that I really wanted to know, does the account retention of CDLP affect in any way the persistency level for the legal plan renewals? So in other words, does the account retention of CDLP affect the residual income, the renewals of the legal plan? And the answer to that, it does not. And so that's a good thing, because you're going to have a little bit more membership churn in CDLP. And we wanted to make sure that that turnover did not affect our legal plan, ID Shield, and those products. So the CDL plans do not affect the renewal persistency. So that is a good thing for all of us. Okay, so that everybody understand the question?
So Lamar, does that mean, so what you're saying is, when you sell a CDL plan, if the membership drops off the books after 6 months, it will affect your retention for your CDLP, but it won't affect your retention for your legal and identity theft plans. Is that what I hear you saying?
That is correct. And in a
Okay.
second, we're going to look at one of those sheets, and I'll get Mr. Randy to pull that up. Mr. Randy, in just a minute, we're going to be looking at the 1895, the new 1895 sheet in just a minute. And I'll show you, when you go to the renewal sheet, which is the fourth sheet in there, depending on your persistency rate, it falls in a certain column. And so we wanted to make sure that the churn of the membership of CDLP did not affect the payout of the renewal income. That's the second year, third year, and going forth of the legal plan and ID Shield. And it does not. And so that is a positive thing for us. So we can sell CDLP and it won't affect our legal plan renewals. Okay, so that's one. The second question we wanted to know, is the PC rolling persistency? And that's what you see in the Ellis Engage. And it's a rolling persistency for bonus, incentives, and trips. Is the PC rolling persistency for bonus and contest affected by the CDLP retention? So, to the answer to that, yes, it does. So you have to be very careful if you're wanting to go on a trip. If you want to leverage your income with the bonuses or incentives, the business solution incentives, you have to be very careful that your persistency is good in the CDLP, because it will affect that. And I'll just go to the most recent, and I read this to you last week, the most recent Business Solutions announcement for 2021. And on the information sheet, the second page, on the bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth one down, and I'm going to read it to you. It says persistency requirements in order to receive any 2021 business solution incentive. Associates, brokers, and general agents must maintain a personal persistency of 77. Now, that is the rate of the company. So what I'm trying to say to you, if you open CDLP memberships and they start canceling on you, and your persistency rate, the rolling rate, happens to go to 70, you will not make a bonus. You will not go on a trip. Okay? And the incentives they have. So we have to really be aware of that and manage that. So FYI, I wanted everybody to, that is kind of a negative for us. And you just need to understand that. So when you sell a membership, we're going to do everything you can to retain that membership. And Mr. Randy, why don't you talk about the program that you use to try to keep that on the books?
Well, on retention,
Yes, sir.
I use the one that I use particularly is Responder Works Pro, and it's worked quite well for me. It's $19.95 monthly, and if you join under LegalShield, the letters that are written in it and the emails that go out are all form lettered from LegalShield's wording. They work for other companies too, so if and those letters are written from their company's perspective. These are written from LegalShield's perspective. We have a pre-cancel in there, and we also have a member retention letters that go out. And all I have to do is populate the name, phone number, email address, and a little bit of information in there and their time frame, whether that membership is in Central, Eastern, Mountain, or Pacific time frame. And then those emails are sent out during that time frame. So therefore, they don't receive them at 2 o'clock at night and on the East Coast, or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the West Coast. They receive them in a time frame where they will be able to usually catch them mid to later afternoon or what have you. And so therefore, that's all set up in the program where I don't have to do that. It automatically sends it out. And it works really well whenever I use it. Therefore, it sends out the first letter, and on retention, it's about 10 to 15 days later, it'll send out another one. On pre-cancel, it's one about every 20. The first one goes out, and then the second one about 20 days later. And then it also sends another one about 40 days later or so. It automatically does that. Once I put them in there, I don't have to do that. It gives them the option to opt out of them. If they receive one, they take care of it. They receive another one, they can go to the bottom of it and opt out, and it kicks it out where they don't receive any more. But I've had people call me from the first one or the second one, and they say, well, I've already taken care of this. And I said, well, I'll take care of it. It's an automatic program that goes out. And then I go back into Responder and I cancel their program for them to keep them from having to do it where they don't receive anything else. But it has kept my persistency and consistency up quite well. And so I'm very well pleased for it. Ms. Sherranda put it in there in the chat session. The Responder Works Pro is $19.95 monthly, and it's the one that I use, and it's worked very well for me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what Mr. Randy is saying, we need to do everything we can to keep those on the books, and because I want to make as much money as I can, and so the residual income is backloaded, and it's really to our advantage on the residual income. You're making more money long term as you're going long term into our program. It's just not front end loaded like it used to be with commissions up front. So we're going to have to get creative and find ways to keep that membership on the books. And a lot of the memberships that are canceling, it could be just over their credit card. And we have talked about this before on this call. So when you're doing a universal application, and I sold one today, it was a lady driver, and I really encouraged her to do the bank information instead of her credit card. Okay? Because the bank is more stable. And the reason that membership goes into pre-cancel a lot of times, and Mr. Randy gets that and he puts it in that responder works is because they got a new credit card and they didn't call LegalShield, and there it is. It kicked out. They're in pre-cancel, and it may be just as simple as inputting a new credit card number in there. So me personally, I intend enrolling in this program myself, because I've got a bunch of memberships out there, and I want to, and the new memberships I'm writing, I want to keep those on the books. So I think that Sherranda or Randy put that on the screen. So you can see it.
This is the first email that goes out. When you enrolled in LegalShield membership, I'm sure you were confident that it was of value it would bring to you. And so this is the first letter. It has my name and phone number, emails in it, gives tips for using the membership or updating the status down here on this one. It also has a member story. This is the first email that goes out. And this is the, you add a recipient here, and then this comes up, and whenever this comes up, it'll tell you, ask for their email, first name, last name, and add them to the contact list and their phone numbers and stuff. And whenever you hit register recipient, that's when it's going to send that to start their program. And then of course you have your autoresponders, and this is the ones that I have working right now. And it tells you which letter, what they're in and for, the different things, when the last one was sent, when the next one's going to be sent. And then of course, let's see, wait a minute. Where is it? Contacts. Oh, yeah. Well, I've lost where it is. Where you there. That's what I was looking.
View the emails. Okay.
Yeah. This is where you can go into. You see member retention, and then you can figure if they're a new member, if it's a group employee or an existing member, associate, and whenever you click on that, once again you continue, and this shows the email that goes out.
Oh, so you can view that before it's sent. Okay.
Oh yeah. See, this one is the first day, and on this particular retention, the second one goes out day 4. The next one goes out day 8, and then 15, and then 25, and they start extending further out.
And so it's got the LegalShield company logo there. I see that building, so that's positive. Yes.
That's what I say. Whenever you sign up for it under LegalShield, it automatically populates the LegalShield information for you, and it's written from like it was from LegalShield for you. And of course, positively yours, Randy Hooker, Independent Studies, LegalShield.
Okay.
And whatever. So.
All right. So we don't want to spend too much time on this. Maybe the next meeting we have, maybe we need to all collectively think about what we need to do for account retention. So I want you to be thinking for a whole week what we can do to improve account retention on CDLP. I don't have all the answers. Mr. Randy don't have all the answers. We need you to help us. Let's figure it out together to make a difference, because the way the new program works now, it's really dependent on keeping that membership long-term so that we can make all the money we need to make. Okay, so that is the CDLP. Now I want to take you over, and you got to pay close attention to this. I'm going to take you over because we're doing a lot of bundle memberships. We're going to do the legal plan. And the first one we're going to do is the $18.95. And Mr. Randy just put the $18.95 on the screen. Okay. Now, you can see the first year, the commissions paid is $106.34. Now, I knew this thing was happening when they introduced this in December, so I printed off the old commission sheet of the 1895. Just keep that one there, Mr. Randy. And so the old commission sheet was, the commissions on it was for $114.93. So the commissions went from $114.93 to $106.34. So there was a reduction on this particular product, 7.5% reduction in the commissions. Okay, everybody got that? If you're selling the 1895, if you continue to sell that in 21, there's going to be a reduction on the commissions, 7.5%. And this year you're going to make 106.34 instead of 114. It's not much money, but it's a little reduction there. So be aware of that. Now, Mr. Randy, if you'll scroll over to the renewal sheet, it's about the fourth one in. Here you will see what we were talking about, which the CDLP membership does not affect this. Okay, this is what I was trying to tell you earlier. But your account retention of Legal and ID Shield does. And so I happened to pick, I came down here to Executive Director, Mr. Randy, if you'll go to Executive Director, and my persistency is, let's just say 77. So there you are. It's $4.88 that I'm going to make on that membership as I go into the second year. Now, the old persistency was $6.08. So in this particular membership on the residual income reduced 20%. Now you need to be aware of that. The commissions reduced by 7.5 and the residual income starting the second year reduced by 20%. Okay, everybody got that? All right. So, Mr. Randy, if you'll go over to the 2095. Now, you know, when they did the webinar the other day, they were talking about the 2095 plan. And let's take a look at it and see what happened to the 2095 plan. So, Randy, if you can pull that up. And I happen to print off the new 2095, which Randy's going to show you that in just a second. And I printed off the old 2095 plan. So you'll see on the 2095, instead of selling a legal plan, when we're bundling this with the CDLP, what they're wanting to try to get us to do is to sell the 2095 instead of the 1895. They put more money in it. So we're looking at the commissions of the 2095. It's $117.56 in the new compensation. The old compensation of the 2095 plan in 2020 was $127.05. So that is a reduction, is same as the 1895 of 7.5% commissions on the 2095 plan. But, and Mr. Randy, if you'll go over to the renewals, as I compare 2020 to 2021 on the renewal for executive director, you're being paid $5.36 on the renewal. On the new compensation, the old compensation was $5.80. So there's only a 8% reduction in the renewal. Now remember, the 1895, what was the reduction in the renewals of 1895? 20%. So you're saving a lot of money if you're going to sell that membership and keep it on the books. You want to be selling 2095. Okay, So long-term, I mean, I want to make as much money as I can. So that's Mr. Randy assisted me. We did all the percentages and numbers as we looked at this. And so we looked at the 1895 compared to the 2095, and the company, without saying it, the company is leading us in that direction. They want you to sell the 2095, which is only $2 more, ladies and gentlemen. And the residual income is going to make that up so fast. Okay. So even though there was an 8% reduction in the renewal there, you're going to make a lot more money selling this program than you will the 1895 plan. So let me just go over and look at this one more time. And Randy, you can just stay right there. So on the 1895 in the new comp plan, you're getting $4.88. This plan, what was that? $5.36. So you're making $1 and something more by selling the 2095. So for $2 more, you can get the member to and get your account to upgrade to the 2095. You're going to make a lot more money residual. You're going to make $12, maybe $14 more a year than you would in the 18 plan.
So Lamar,
Yes. Yes, sir. I can't hear you, Robert.
can you hear me?
I can now. Yes, sir.
All right. So if I go out and sell an 1895 plan and attach it to a CDL or don't attach it, doesn't matter, versus the $20.95 plan, after the 15th month, the difference between those two plans is 12%. So I'm making 12% more annually on the 2095 plan than I am the 1895 plan. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Wanted to make sure I had some clarity on it.
Mr. Randy, do you want to add any clarity to that?
No, that's right. There's a 12% difference in it as far as the renewal on the renewal side. And of course, guys, the only thing I'll add to this is if y'all will notice that on this sheet right here, let me pick up my arrow again just a second.
Can we still sell the 1895?
Yes. Yeah, you can still sell the 1895. Now, some of us have some of these old plans out here, the legal plans at 1595. I got a couple of those.
I do too.
Okay. It is grandfathered until July the 1st.
Okay.
So July the 1st, you're going to have to move that plan to either the 1895 or the 2095.
Okay.
And if we have some choices, if your account can agree, that's a $5 jump if you want to go to the 2095, but it's a lot better for you. But if you go to 1895, you're going to make more money, but you've got to change that price to 1895 or 2095 in July. Yep.
Okay.
So you got to do that in July. So I have just about all of my transportation groups is 1895. I'm selling the 1895 AJ and the 2995 as a bundle. That's what I'm selling out there everywhere I go. I'm going to really look at this, and I'm thinking about moving all of my groups to the 2095. The 2095 for the legal plan, and the 2995 for the CDLP. That stayed the same. That price stayed the same for the CDLP. We didn't have any price increases on that at all. So $29.95 for the CDLP, and I'm thinking about really moving my groups to the $20.95. That's $2 more than what they're paying today. And so long term, because hey, I'm gonna give you the bottom line. I'm working, and I hope you are too. I hope you're working for the residual income. Because when it's all said and done, and you've worked for LegalShield for 20 years, hopefully you've done that for residual income. Because, you know, when I'm not able to go out there and work, I'm still making a nice paycheck coming in. And it's all about the residual income to me. That's what I'm really focusing on. So anyway, we wanted to take an opportunity tonight, and I know our time is getting real close. So we wanted to take time, one, to talk about the CDLP and the way they flatlined the commissions and the renewal incomes. That's one, and understanding about the account retention of that, okay? How that affects bonuses and trips. It does not affect the legal plan in any way, okay? So all that's said and done there. And then I wanted to walk you through the 1895, because most of you people are selling 1895 plans out there for the legal plan, and the 2095. Now, there may be some of you selling, I believe we were selling, and you can correct me on this, Sherranda, I believe we had an option of selling the legal plan at $23.95. I believe that's correct.
That's correct.
Yep. So there may be some groups out there at $23.95, and if you do, stay right there. You're making good money. I haven't done the research on that one, so I'm sure they left that pretty stable there on the $23.95. But one thing I do know, for me, I had to do the research of 1895 and see what's best for Lamar Reynolds and drive that through for my accounts and make that transition. So we wanted to take time tonight and profile this 1895 and the 2095. So you, as the associate, we're independent associates. Understand that. Look at your business card. It says independent associate. So you have to make these decisions yourself. Okay? The company is dangling the money, and we have to see where it's hanging and where in what direction they're doing that. And what I'm trying to say to you tonight, it's to our best interest to go from 1895 to 2095 in the compensation scheme and the commissions, really not the commissions, but the residual income. It's more there for you at the 2095. So Robert, I know we got a few minutes left, and Sherranda, maybe there's some questions coming through that we all can answer real quick before we get off.
Yeah, I think we need to clarify the 1895. I think the
Okay.
1895 is 4,000 or more. Everybody had, like, you know, I think we have to sell the 2095.
And that's in a new group.
New group. Yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah.
the new group. Yeah.
Great.
The 2095, right?
Right. If it's a new group, yeah, you got to come in. You don't have an option. You got to come in at 2095.
Right. That's the clarification they want on the
Yeah.
chapter.
But if you have a group today,
Right.
what LegalShield is saying, you can leave it at 1895 if you so choose. But
Right.
you better look at what we're doing at 2095 before you make that final decision.
Right.
And that's what I had to myself, Mr. Randy and others had to look at and analyze. So we wanted to share that information with you tonight. Any other questions?
Hey, Lamar, I wanted to also mention, because I know it's quite a few people on here that are new, and
Yes.
or not just new because they took the certification this past weekend, but just new to the call too, new to the Zoom period. So guys, we don't get this complicated every week, but it's something that we have to talk about because you guys are business owners. Like Lamar just said, you're independent associates of LegalShields, but you guys are running the business. So sometimes the technical stuff needs to be discussed, especially when it's a new year and they've changed compensation and what retention means and what performance club means. Those are details that a lot of times people don't really want to talk about or go over, but they're important, so we have to. So if this is your first call, just know that it's not this technical every call, so we don't want to scare you off. Next week, we will be talking a little bit more layman about what you should be doing as a person that just took the certification. Normally that's what we do. Like earlier, I got a text from Sherranda like, hey, we need to talk about, what should you be doing first because you just got certified. But we had to finish this conversation on the changes because that affects your money, that affects your retention, that affects your performance club, and those things are important as well. So next week it will be a little bit more layman, not as much technical stuff, but we did need to get this stuff out the way. So I wanted to throw that in there just so you guys listening that were new would know that we're not breaking down residuals and month-to-month percentages every week on the call. So I wanted to throw that out there. So I'll turn it back over to you, Lamar.
Okay. Well, Mr. Randy, that's it on the viewing there, screen share. So, Sherranda, if you'll just look at the questions that I think we're right at the bottom of the hour. We got a couple of minutes. If there's any other questions, we'll be able to answer those.
Lamar, I have a question. It's Pat Herberger.
Okay.
I'm talking to a guy tomorrow. He called me tonight. He's got tow truck drivers. Any key points I should know about tow truck drivers?
Well, tow truck drivers do get tickets too. And here in Houston, when there's an accident, these tow truck drivers get crazy out there on the road. And there's one little car broke down on the side of the road, and there's 10 or 15 records there on the side of the tow truck drivers is just lined up wanting to tow this one car. And so they do get tickets, and they do have to have a CDL, and they do need the CDLP membership. And these tickets, they do affect that company as it does any transportation company for their insurance rates. So, hopefully you're having that conversation with that owner of that towing company, okay? And he's struggling with the insurance rates of his record drivers. And so our program is a key component, just like it is on any other transportation account out there. And he needs to look at the big picture, and if he'll just open the door and let you come in to present to the drivers, that's all we asked, and they will see the value of that. Like I think it was Rob or Randy that was talking about, if you really know your program and you present it, these drivers will buy the program. And while you're presenting, I would also bundle that membership with a legal plan. I just got a sneaking suspicion. I don't have very many. I don't even know if I've got one tow truck company out there, but I got a sneaking suspicion. A lot of these tow truck drivers are being sued, and our legal plan could really help that in a civil suit. Okay. So, Mr. Randy, you kind of go along with what I'm saying there, that would be a good approach as a bundle CDLP and a legal plan approach to the records.
Right. Because if they pick up a car wrong or anything, if they hook onto it wrong, if they do any damage to it, that opens them up for a civil suit quite frequently. Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's an owner operator on the tow truck driver, Miss Sherranda would tell you, as I would, make sure you talk about that HBS or a small business.
Okay. Yeah, these are drivers' employees. He actually owned a trucking company, and he said he was so afraid he was going to get sued by these big law firms that he pared it way down, and he said he really just they do towing now. And he said they have contracts with the state and with police departments. So they do only towing.
I think it was Mr. Randy that was telling us, if I remember correctly, if there's a death and that company's being sued, a death these days in transportation has a payout of about $8 million. And so you better have a law firm representing your company, and it makes good sense to be part of the legal plan or the small biz plan as a company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because
he does want to hear
just
about
a
that too.
matter, it's just a matter of time before you get sued. Because
Mhm.
one of your drivers is going to make a mistake, and unfortunately, somebody loses their life, they will be sued. That company will be sued.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
The program that Randy showed on the screen is Responder Works. You might have to put Responder Works together, but it's Responder Works Pro. It's not a trial period. You have to pay $19.95 day one, so you don't get to look into it. He just showed you what it looks like. And it's unlike Prospect by LegalShield. You don't have to opt in. They get the emails regardless. So that's a plus for you. They have other campaigns in there. Randy talked about the pre-cancel campaign, but they have all of them. Small biz, legal ID shield. They even have an associate one in there as well.
Yeah, they have one for your prospect too.
Yeah. So the great thing about this, and this was out before our prospect. So the great thing about this one, they don't have to opt in. So they're going to get your email regardless. Someone asked about it. You might have to put Responder Works together, but it's Responder Works Pro. So, and that's mainly about it. Everything we talk about is those papers that they showed are in LegalShield LS Engage under resources. So you just go there and look for those things there. Everybody should have an LS Engage, so that's where it'll be. But for the most part, that's it. No questions. They just was trying to clarify the $18.95. So I think you guys did a great job.
All right. Okay, Mr. Robert, we'll turn it back over to you, and we'll have a great subject to discuss next week for you. So come back. I mean, we just got to understand the compensation and the renewal. And once we got that tucked under our arm, then we can go and get busy about selling. I believe it was Pat that was talking about this record company. So next week, we're going to be really focusing on selling new business out there. Robert?
Absolutely, good stuff. So appreciate all the trainers for chiming in and assisting everybody. I appreciate you guys for joining us this evening. I know you can all be somewhere else. If you guys are listening to this as a recording, there's a subscribe button on the bottom right hand side. When you click that, it'll allow you to subscribe to the channel. For those that are looking for the other recordings, the past trainings, is go to the YouTube channel, go to YouTube and go to Training by Dunbar. And this, when you get to my channel, just scroll down and you'll see a list of all the CDLP trainings right there. You can go there and look at all of our past trainings. We got 20 other trainings on Zoom before this one. So you can do that as well. So Sherranda, did you mention your call?
Yeah, in the beginning, we have the mastermind, the accountability call on Thursday nights. We welcome you guys to sign up for that. I sent out an email on Thursday evening. Come to that call. Some great activity is going on. Shout out to AJ on the call who qualified for executive director this past month. And shout out to a lot of the other people in the group. There are opening groups like Clarence, Rose, Miriam. So we got a lot of activity going on. So just so thankful for that mastermind group on Thursday night. So with that, back over to you, Dunbar. So good. I guess that will be it, guys. So we'll be here next week. He says same link. So no posting. Where's the link?
No posting. Where's the link?
Hey.
Same link. So make whatever link you use, just save it. It'll be posted next week, but just make sure you guys have it because it's going to be the same link until the end of the year. So we look forward to hearing from you guys again next week. If you guys need something, text, email, call, whatever you need to do. Everybody have a fantastic night.
Go watch the